Just hours before President Trump's trade deadline was set to take effect today, he signed an executive order announcing sweeping new tariffs for dozens of countries, as well as formalizing the trade deal frameworks that his administration had already negotiated with a handful of nations. These new rates range from 10% to as high as 41%, and they're scheduled to take effect on August 7th, next week. In an exclusive phone interview with NBC News, Trump said that it was too late for other countries to avoid the higher tariffs, but then added the door will always be open to compelling offers, saying, quote, "It doesn't mean that somebody doesn't come along in 4 weeks and say, we can make some kind of deal." When it comes to America's three largest trading partners, talks with China do continue with an August 12th deadline approaching, and Trump announced yesterday a 90-day extension for Mexico. However, Canada was hit with a 35% tariff on imports. That goes into effect today. The president addressed the higher rate just hours before he signed the order.
They have to pay a fair rate. That's all. It's very simple. They've been treating our country very badly for years. And look, we like Canada. I love Canada. I have so many friends in Canada. But they've been very poorly led. They've been very, very poorly led. And all we want is fairness for our country.
Jen Palmieri, we have said a lot. There isn't much that's ideologically consistent from President Trump, but his beliefs in tariffs is an exception. He certainly does and has for decades. There's been just so much sort of chaos and unpredictability into how these tariffs have been rolled out. I think that's sort of the point in some ways. And he's been trying to get these deals done. Give us your read, though, as some of, today's the deadline, as some of these tariffs go into effect, at some point, American consumers are going to start to feel them.
Yeah, first I want to laud your segue from the baseball trade deadline to the global trade deadline.
Alex Corson deserves credit for that. The indefatigable executive producer here. That's Alex.
Good morning, Joe. When you look at the right at some point, I mean the economy. I was just listening to CNBC on my way in here, and talking about signs, concerns about the signs of the economy weakening, and that the tariffs starting to take hold. If we look at it, though, from a political lens, you see polling that shows people think that the economy is doing well. And I've seen enough focus group data to know that part of the reason why people think that is because in January and February, everyone heard that the economy was going to collapse because of tariffs, and it didn't happen, right? So I think that in terms of how Democrats should talk about this, it is in the context of this is more, he said he was going to get elected to lower costs. And what we're concerned about is what we're seeing instead is a lot of chaos, not any move to actually lower costs. And these tariffs could have that kind of impact, but bring it back to what he said he was going to do and how it is not, that has not happened, right? Grocery prices haven't really gone down. That hasn't happened. People are concerned about housing in particular and how affordable that is. And bring it back to that, as opposed to as opposed to predicting. First of all, you don't want to predict some kind of economic impact collapse from the tariffs.
All right, we'll bring into the conversation now former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors under President Biden, Jared Bernstein. Jared, good to see you this morning. Let's start, if you will, by taking a step back. There's been a lot of sort of conflicting numbers, data that's come in the last couple of weeks, just about the state of the economy, how healthy it is or not. Let's start there. Give us your assessment. Just as August 1st arrive, these deadlines arrive, how is the American economy doing right now?
It's not doing as well as it was before Trump took office, and certainly before the trade war. Probably the best overall measure of how the economy is doing is GDP growth, and that was trending north of 2%. Now it's around 1% for the first half of the year. The job market is still in pretty good shape. We heard that from Chair Powell this week. But at the same time, we're seeing some cracks. Employers have really slowed the rate of hiring. They haven't engaged in layoffs yet. You can't have a recession without layoffs. And in fact, I don't see a recession coming at least in the next 6 to 12 months. What I do see is slower growth and higher prices, aka stagflation. That's tough for American consumers. It's tough for the Federal Reserve because those forces go in opposite directions for them. And I think it's largely a symptom of this, really foundationally misguided trade war.
So, Jared, let's talk now about this trade war and these tariffs about to take effect. What sort of impact are they going to have on the American consumer? Yes, but also some of the core businesses as they try to factor this into what they're doing.
When goods arrive in this country, imported goods arrive in this country, the tax or the tariff on those goods is paid by the importer, by the American company that imports those goods. That's the first so-called incidence of the tariff. Then you go down the chain. So it's importers, wholesalers, retailers, and standing at the end of that line is the American consumer. And just as we just heard from Jen, a lot of those people who voted for Trump did so because they believed he was going to lower prices. It's not a matter of when this consumer pass-through will occur. We are now seeing it. We're seeing it at the company level through lower profits, and that's corporations eating some of the tariff. But that can only go on for so long. They can only let their profit margins get squeezed for so long. They're already working through their buffers on their inventories where they front-loaded to try to avoid the tariffs. We are now unequivocally seeing tariffs pass through to consumer prices. We're seeing it in furniture, toys. We're seeing it in apparel. We're seeing it in electronics. And we're just going to see more of that as time goes forward.
Hey, Jared, it's Sam Stein here. That map made me anxious. There's so many different numbers for so many different countries. I want to talk about the process here and how we got to those numbers. First of all, it's unclear to me where Trump derives all of this authority to set these numbers. For instance, if you look at South Korea, we had a congressionally ratified trade deal with South Korea. Suddenly, that's whisked away by Trump and different numbers put in the country. But secondly, one of the things that we've noticed in the past 6 months is that if the markets react negatively to any of this economic news, Trump just goes with a different number or delays the negotiations. That, to a degree, has prevented some of the worst outcomes, I would argue. But surely there is some side effect to having this back and forth, or uncertainty, I should say, around the tariff rates. And I'm kind of curious if you can illuminate what that side effect is.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there. By the way, this morning, the markets are poised for a pretty big sell-off in the equity markets, and we're already seeing that across Europe and Asia as well. In terms of the process, you mentioned the South Korea trade deal. We had a trade deal with Mexico and Canada. It's one that was originated and signed by no less than Donald Trump himself. Right. No question that and now he's talking about a different trade deal with Canada. So there's no question that these measures lead to considerable uncertainty with businesses, and it's one of the reasons why those cracks in the economy I described in my first response have been so problematic. Businesses are basically saying to themselves, especially those exposed to the tariffs, we're going to sit on our hands in terms of investment. Business investment has taken a hit. We're going to sit on our hands in terms of hiring. I was going to build that warehouse extension, but let me see where this lands. So as long as the plane never lands, that kind of uncertainty just festers. And the problem is, and I think a lot of folks are getting this wrong, this is not over today. Anyone who thinks that we've resolved the chaotic trade war on August 1st is engaged in wishful thinking. There's lots more negotiation that's going to go on, especially when Donald Trump realizes that many of these side deals he thinks he's made with the EU and with Japan to buy hundreds of billions of dollars worth of American energy or invest, those are extremely flimsy. And the trading partners on the other side, they don't see it the same way he does. And I think when that reaches him, he's going to start renegotiating. So I don't see that uncertainty going away, Sam.
We will have a lot more on these tariffs and our nation's economic picture throughout the show. We also get a jobs report later today. Former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors under President Biden, Jared Bernstein. Jared, thank you for joining us. We'll turn